Hello, everybody. It's your boy, the Punk Otaku Scribe, and I am just a teensy bit excited for the Scott Pilgrim anime. My history with Scott Pilgrim doesn't start with the graphic novel, oddly enough. Before the movie, I was aware of it, I just never really gave it a chance. I just never took the time to. But I did see the movie, and I instantly regretted doing that. Because after the movie, I became so obsessed with the story, I sought out the comic books. And I read all six volumes in a row. And the further down I went in reading the series, the more disenchanted with the movie I became because of all of these great stories that I would have loved to see in the movie that I actually did love so much. But understandably so, there's so much in here, you can't fit all of it into a 2 hour runtime. The movie would be 16 hours long if they did that. So they pretty much, did the bare bones thing. They pretty much just took what was the main essential part of it, just the crux of it, and just made it into a movie. And it turned out great, but it did leave a lot to be desired in terms of just the overall Scott Pilgrim content. But after the movie, after the game, and after the comic books, there was sort of a dry spell. Us Scott Pilgrim fans, we wanted more. What we had to fall back on was really good. The game went away for a while, but then it was revived, and that was amazing. But after the revival of the game, the dry spell began again, and we needed something more. And that more has arrived in what I think is a really amazing looking anime series.
It's time to wake up, dude.
One of the main praises that you heard about the movie was, wow, it looks like it's ripped straight out of the comic book. And it did, it was rather impressive. But this anime looks like it's really ripped straight out of the comic book. It's like the comic has come to life. I cannot stress how much of a dream come true this is. Looking at the story of Scott Pilgrim, it's actually quite surprising that the story has not been adapted into this medium sooner. The live action movie did really well to give us a story in the medium that it did, and I'll always respect it. But looking at these trailers and these clips, this is going to be next level. Now, the truth of the matter is, I could sit here and talk about how excited I am for this thing all the livelong day. But the harsh reality is that there's a big con to this. The con being that this is from Netflix. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying Netflix is completely devoid of anything good or worthwhile when it comes to their original programming. In fact, a lot of their original programming I really like and is some of the most popular stuff in the entire world. A lot of people gravitate towards it. Or at least they claim that. You see it marketed all the time, and you see a lot of people raving about it on social media all the time. But if you really take notice, a lot of that is live action stuff. When it comes to original animated programming, anime or not, they kind of dropped the ball. Historically, Netflix has not treated animated IPs very well, at least in recent years. For example, they'll take an IP as cool as Godzilla and endorse a really badly told story about it, or come out with their own original story that is just lackluster at best. And they don't treat it very well on the marketing front either. Case in point, did you know that there's a new Astro Boy anime coming out this year? I wouldn't blame you if you didn't, because I didn't know until 6 months after the trailer came out. Historically, with their animated properties, that's what kind of has that scratching feeling in the back of my head of, well, don't get too excited. Don't get too excited, because this may turn out to be garbage. And that's true. Just like with anything else, it may turn out to be garbage. But there is one shred of hope that this won't be garbage. And that is the fact that Brian Lee O'Malley is at the helm of this. He is both executive producer and writer. For those of you that don't know, Brian Lee O'Malley is the writer of the Scott Pilgrim graphic novel. So the fact that he is a showrunner and a writer means that we have someone that knows the source material, and they created it, that knows the source material and is adapting it. So, maybe this won't be garbage. But with Netflix, I think it's smart nowadays to go ahead and just temper expectations a little bit, especially at this point. But just like with everything else, only time will tell if this will be any good or bad, and we should reserve judgment. I don't know, I just had a lot of thoughts and feelings about the Scott Pilgrim anime coming out, and I just wanted to put them out there in this quick video. But regardless, I am excited. I'm being cautiously optimistic, but I can't lie and say that I don't get butterflies seeing these trailers and these clips of this thing. It looks incredible. But what do you think? Do you think this is going to be a slam dunk? Do you think this shouldn't have happened at all? Do you think Netflix does have a habit of ruining other IPs and they shouldn't have touched this at all? Do you think it should have gone to someone else? Are you going to watch it as it drops? Let's talk everything Scott Pilgrim down in the comments. I'm curious to hear from you. Anyway, that's going to do it for me on this little video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. I've been the Punk Otaku Scribe, and I'll see you in the next one.